Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and I'm going to be talking about a topic that I have not thought I'd ever have to talk about, and I'm a little trepidatious to enter this again because, oh my gosh, the last time I dipped my toe into the whole YouTube drama thing, I found a very, very ugly side of fandom and of YouTube that I was not prepared for. And that was when I discussed DaddyOFive. Now, for those of you who do not remember, this was a huge YouTube controversy a little over a year ago where people discovered, and I don't know, obviously, here's the thing. Well, discovered might be a wrong word because there was a YouTube channel called DaddyOFive, and it had hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of views. And the guy made videos of his daily life. He was a vlogger. And the vast majority of the videos involved him either torturing his kids, screaming at his kids, playing pranks on his kids, having the kids beat each other up. It was so ugly. And a lot of it was brought to the attention of the general public by Philip DeFranco, who considered it child abuse. And I considered it child abuse. I made two videos on the topic. One simply of me commenting on it, and a second video where I gave people advice on if they knew anyone who was being abused, how to report it to the police. Interestingly, that second video was struck down with a community guideline strike and removed because DaddyOFive fans rallied together and reported the video that I was telling people to report the Martins to the police. Even though I don't think I needed to encourage people to do that, most people who had any sort of decency would have done the same thing. And I started flagging their videos as fast as I can. And there was a long controversy, but it ultimately ended up with them taking a plea deal and going on probation. They lost custody of two of the kids, particularly Cody, the one who seemed to get abused the most. They moved from one state to some other state, and the DaddyOFive channel was pretty much effectively killed. But they had a second channel. They had two other channels. They had the DaddyOFive gaming channel, which, whatever, it's gaming. And then they had the MommyOFive. Well, MommyOFive at some point became FamilyOFive, because now there's 5 people. And they kept uploading videos. And I don't watch that stuff. I mean, I prefer, what shows I liked watching on YouTube? Let me show you. This is how boring I can be sometimes. These are the kind of things I like to watch and support on YouTube. I like to watch fun, educational stuff like that. FamilyOFive did not interest me, and I didn't watch it. Now, here's the thing. They've been uploading videos, and part of the probation was that, they couldn't abuse the kids, they had to be very careful, and I think I watched the channel for maybe a week or two, and the kids weren't in it, and Heather, who was MommyOFive, was basically talking about their new life and stuff, and I didn't like the videos. I didn't like their other videos either, but, as far as compared to the old videos, these new ones were definitely an improvement. I will say that. It's like, it was just their daily lives, and there were no kids, and I kind of moved on, and I said, well, I would have preferred YouTube strike them down, like, heavy, but maybe they've learned their lesson, and they'll stay away from this. But then Amanda the Jedi, who was a YouTuber I had not heard about until today, but have definitely subscribed because her videos are awesome. Well, she did a 1 year later recap and showed that there were still plenty of videos where the abuse was really front and center. Now, granted, they weren't slapping the kids, they weren't pranking the kids. In fact, most of the pranks seemed to be geared towards the adults, and the kids were involved. But there were still scenes of, like, one of the kids getting hit with a football in the crotch, and a couple of the kids wrestling. There was even a scene where one of the kids was crying and asking for the camera to be turned off. Holy cow, did that look familiar. And you would have hoped that the Martins would have learned their lesson. They would have stayed as far away from it as possible. Well, while she was reporting it, and while Philip DeFranco got back into the mix, YouTube finally did what they should have done a long time ago. They terminated the channel for breaking the community guidelines. Not only that, they terminated the gaming channel, even though I'm pretty sure that channel did not violate any guidelines because, let's face it, they just moved their terrible content from one channel to another. What was to stop them from doing it with the third channel? So YouTube just said, this has been brought to the attention. And I think YouTube was frankly embarrassed. They were embarrassed because this was brought to their attention over a year ago. They didn't do anything, and now it was still happening, and they let it happen. And after the whole Elsa Gate controversy and, keeping the kids safe on YouTube, now it was just time. They had to lay down the law, and they had to take it out. What's also interesting is now that I upload videos, like when I upload videos now, there are actually little disclaimers about what to do if kids are in your videos. They have to be paid actors. They can't be abused. And I bet you this is all in response to FINNALLY, aka DaddyOFive. And it's amazing because a year later, they always say things will catch up with you at one point. You do something bad and sometimes you can get away with it, but you don't really get away with it. You just get your comings later on, because getting away with it gives you a false sense of security. And even Woody Allen movies, and I bet you he has a lot of demons he thinks about when he makes these movies. He makes movies like Match Point and Crimes and Misdemeanors, where the characters get away with murder. Literally, they get away with murder, and yet they never truly escape what they've done, and something comes back. And so DaddyOFive, this was just something coming back for them. And I mean, I'm amazed that it even took this long, because YouTube was united and up in arms. Now, what's kind of scary, what was scary then, what's scary now, is the fans. The DaddyOFive fans, I don't know how you can watch these videos and not think of them as abuse. I mean, these are not kids acting. These are not staged things. These are kids being abused, and I don't know how you can watch it and find it entertaining. And I mean, and this is different from when you see kids watching other people do Let's Plays. I don't get Let's Plays myself. I don't know why you would watch someone play a game when you could play the game yourself. But that's more of a confusing thing. If you want to do it, it's not harming anyone. This is literally watching kids getting harmed. I mean, it's almost like those people who watch animals getting tortured for fun. It's like... So, anyway, YouTube just, they should have taken care of this a long time ago. And I'll give them this much credit. The controversy did not get very high this time. Again, you got Amanda the Jedi talking about it. Then you got Philip DeFranco talking about it. And there was not... The outcry did not get huge yet. I might be person number 3 or 5 talking about it now. And who knows what people say. I even looked up on the internet, and only 2 articles so far have announced. And that's because YouTube probably saw this video, they saw Philip DeFranco, and they realized, holy cow, we've got another controversy coming. We're already having trouble with our advertisers, so let's get rid of it now. Let's cut our ties. And they were way, way late to the game. But in some ways, they were also early because... they suspended the channel before it really picked up steam again. So yeah, DaddyOFive is officially off YouTube. Now, when asked about what it feels like, I mean, the Martins are on Twitter. Heather simply had this tweet to say, and as you can see, it reads, "Family, we love you. That is all we have right now." So what we can gather from that is that they're pretty upset, and I don't blame them. I mean, as much as I think this deserved to happen, and this totally deserved to happen, I mean, this was their livelihood. I know that if my YouTube channels were taken away, my YouTube revenue might not be as much as theirs or a lot of people, but you know what? It's fairly substantial. It's very, very substantial. And if it went away, I would have to be thinking about basic... It's almost like finding a new job. I have to be looking at a new way of life. So they're probably also really stopping to think about, wow, we did it again. We should have learned our lesson. We did it again. And, I guess, some people have questions like, well, were these videos in violation of their probation because they were on probation? What did the courts think about it? And now that YouTube has terminated the channel, there's probably not much else to do about it. In the future, what they might consider doing, I know Twitch is starting to have premieres and starting to do non-streaming videos. Maybe they can move to Twitch, and that could be their third and final shot. They can move to Twitch and, rebrand themselves. Well, maybe not rebrand, but maybe they can really, truly change their content. I don't want them to suffer per se. I want them to stop abusing, stop making this garbage videos. And so we're just gonna have to see what they do in the future. I guess my involvement and my commentary on them is more or less done unless something extraordinary happens. Again, I'm kind of not we're gonna have to see how this video goes, because even though I think most people agree that what they were doing was wrong, there's a lot of pissed off DaddyOFive fans, and I got a really bad taste of them last time, so I guess we're gonna have to see what they have to say about this one. I think it's a good thing that the channel got suspended, and because here's the thing: if they weren't going to learn their lesson after pleading guilty to some of the charges and going on a 5-year probation and losing 2 of their kids, if they weren't going to plead guilty about if they were not going to learn their lesson after any of that, then they were never going to learn their lesson. So now just get it off. I'm not for censorship, but you know what? That was just sick, in my opinion. But of course, what about you guys? What do you think about that? Do you agree? Did you like DaddyOFive? Or do you think that they definitely deserve to have their channel taken off? I would love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even just $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. Please flame responsibly and be nice to one another in the comments. Have a good one.